Okay, so we're now in front of the door, which the player cannot interact with. The player cannot go to the door. We have to find the key. After the player interacts with the key will follow the player at certain points. And once the player interacts with the door, the key will go to the door and disappear. Then the player can interact with the door. There you go. Now let's look at the code. Well, first of all, let's look at the key object. I imported a sprite from online, and then I added in a circuit collider and then let's see here, the script for the key. Added in two parts. One is the speed of the key, and then the target. The target is set to none right now, because once the player interacts with the key, the target will then set to the key follow point of the player, Now let's look at code. So under using level exit, player movement that was already made, and then added in the key script. So in key, there's condition of is following, float of the follow speed, and then public transform follow target. Here, if the key is following, the transform position will follow the player, and then the follow speed will be the speed of the console, which varies depending. On trigger, so this if the player interacts with the key, if the tags player, and if it's not following the player from the player movement, follow target is the player, and then the key follow point is following is then true, and then player dot following key equals this. Now let's no. Okay, and then in private player movement, we have player, and then public boolean, we have open door, door open, and waiting to open. The code is using the one we made inside their labs. I have made some changes to it. The on trigger enter 2D is no longer once the player interacts with the door, it will load the next level. So now if the other dot target is the player, or other dot tag is player, the player dot following key is not true or not equal to null, then the player dot following key, the follow target, will change, and then waiting to open will become true. So if the player interacts with the key will follow the player, and then the door will be on the condition of waiting to open. And then if it is waiting to open, the distance of the player key, and if the player distance of the key and the door is less than 0.1, so close to the center of the object, the waiting to open is false. The door is then open. The player following key game object is set active false, so this makes the key disappear, and then player dot following key is then null, so the key is no longer following player. If the door is then open after all of this, and the distance of the player and the door is less in the sense of the player's center to the door, then we can load the next level. Now we have to look at here. So this point here, these 2 points, well, the key follow point is important because the key that follows this point will also change because it's under the player. It will also flip sides under this. As the sprite flips, the key will also flip because it is under the player. And then the key following key is just the point condition basically.